All right, we are live here. We're live. All right. Welcome back to the Fresh and Funky podcast here, live from California. It is March 29th. It is a Monday. So, we're going to recap the weekend of sports, mostly NCAA tournament, NBA, NFL news, MLB, whatever sports news there may be that have come through this weekend here. First and foremost, I would like to thank everybody for taking the time to either check it out, view it, maybe leave comments, not leave comments. But like I said, this is a work in progress podcast, trying to build on this as a grassroots thing, and hopefully it will pick up more steam as we go along the way. But as I say, let's get into the world of sports here. Obviously, tonight we have the Elite Eight. We have two games. The first game being the 12 seeded Oregon State Beavers taking on the number 2 seeded Houston Cougars. Game will be on CBS tonight at 4:15 Pacific Standard Time, and 7:15 Eastern. We'll go into the numbers here. Who's obviously favored in this matchup? According to the money line here, the underdog in this matchup is the Beavers here at Oregon State with plus 285 here. Obviously, the Cougars are the favorite with minus 360. Houston is favored in this matchup by 8. The over/under total points scored both teams 129. Now, if we go down here and I take a look here and we compare both teams' stats statistically as a team, Oregon State about 70.8 points per game. They as a team per game and 14.6 assists per game as a team. Houston, on the other hand, scores about 76.9 points per game, 44.2 rebounds a game per team as a team, I should say, and 14 assists a game. Now, obviously, we'll go down here and look at some of the leaders. Obviously, for Houston, we have Quentin Grimes. He's obviously their leader. Then they have Marcus Saucer here. Then they have Dejon Jaron. Then you have Justin Gorham. They have Tremont Mark. You have Cameron Tyson. You have Fabian White Jr. They have Reggie Chaney. They have Jamal Sheed. They got Bryson Gresham. They got Kyron Powell. Ryan Evelyn, or Elvin. Yeah. Yeah, Ryan Elvin. Jawan Roberts. And Caleb Rodu. That was for the Houston Cougars lineup. Now for the Oregon State Beavers, you have Ethan Thompson. You have Jared Lucas. You have Rath Ashlo. I can't even say the guy's last name. You had Zach Reish, Roman Silva, Maurice Kalou. They have Gian Hunt, Rodrigo Adilo, Darren Tucker, Tyreek Silver, Isaiah Johnson, Joey Potts, and Julian Franklin here. So it should be a good game here. Obviously, the Oregon State is a team that's Cinderella, the last of the Cinderella teams still left here, and do they got enough magic left in them? I think they do. I think they play a really tough brand of basketball, and this tournament is definitely as we've seen yesterday. You seen Gonzaga, they played strong. You seen Michigan, they played strong, but Oregon, they got ran out by USC, And then you had UCLA, take it to Alabama. I mean, most people are going to say, like I'm going to say here, when Peyton dribbled the ball and the ball went off of number 4 on UCLA, they said that it skimmed off of Petway Jr.'s shorts. Now, I'm no whatever, but I could tell the difference between when the ball's bounced off his leg compared to when the ball's bounced off that guy's leg. And if you take a look, the kid's legs were wide open, so the ball bounced right off the guy's calf here, and the ball comes like whoom, and you can see the trajectory of the ball where it lands. So in my opinion, Alabama kind of got hoed a little bit there, because then if they would have had that ball, UCLA would have never had it. But see, what killed Alabama is they didn't make too many free throws. They were very lackadaisy and not making free throws, and just UCLA just did it. One of their best players fouled out of the game early in that second half, so UCLA had to play tough, and so that's going to be a good matchup, Michigan and UCLA tomorrow. But we got Oregon State and Houston Cougars tonight here, so surely I'm going to ride the upset here. I'm going to take the Oregon State Beavers here tonight. I'm going to take the money line, the plus 285 here. I feel that, Oregon State, they got that magic here. And nothing to take away from Houston, but, Houston is a solid team, and Houston's not going to just give the Beavers this game. Now, let's go into the other game. Arkansas, the number 3 seed, taking on the number 1 seed, Baylor Bears here. So Arkansas and Baylor renew rivalry in Elite 8. Obviously, these teams have faced each other, obviously, in the tournament, obviously by the headline on CBSSports.com. So let's break down the team numbers for Arkansas first. Arkansas scores 81.7 points per game, 43 rebounds as a team, and 14.6 assists per game. Baylor, they score 83 points per game as a team, 39.1 rebounds as a team, and 16.6 assists as a team here. Let's go with the number 1 seeded team here. We have Jared Butler. We have Marco Teague. We got Davin. We got Davin Mitchell. We got Adam Flagger. You got Matthew the Mullet Mayer. And you got Jonathan Hamawa Chabui. We got Mark Vidal. We got LJ Cryer. We have Flo Damba. The Mamba. Instead of Mamba, the Mamba. We have Zach Loveday. We have Jordan Turner. We have Mark Patterson. And you have Jackson Moffitt. Those are the Baylor Bears team. Whether who's ever playing the games injured or not, that's beside the point. That's just, I'm naming these guys' names based on how their points and how they are scored on their team. You got Moses Moody from Arkansas. You got Justin Smith from Arkansas. You have J.D. Note. You have Jalen Tate. You have Devontae Davis. You have Desi Seals. You got Connor Vanover. You got Vance Jackson Jr. You have Jalen Williams. You have Kalen Robinson. They have Ethan Henderson. They got Abami Ayalo. Bryson Moorhead. And Emeki Ubakawala. So, sorry, I can't pronounce people's names very well and probably butchering the shit out of them. But in this game, Arkansas is plus 285 on the money line. Obviously, the underdog. And Baylor is on the money line minus 360. Baylor is the favorite in this game, minus 7.5 points. The over/under is 148. I mean, comparing both of these teams, both of these teams like to score in the 80s. So, but we'll definitely see how this game's going to play out. Obviously, both these teams have been tested, have been battle tested. Obviously, Arkansas has been battle tested in this tournament, along with the Baylor Bears here as well. They've been tested a little bit here, so I feel this game's going to be back and forth. A game of runs, obviously, and and if I'm going to take a pick here tonight, I'm going to go. I'm going to go here. Let's take the underdogs here tonight. We're going to go with the doggy dogs. Oh, 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 oh. We're going to go Arkansas. We're going to go the Hogs here. We're going to take the Hogs on the money line here. And nothing against Baylor. Baylor is a really strong team. Like I said, they're not going to give it up just the same way that Houston's not going to give it up. And, Arkansas is going to have their hands full, and Arkansas is going to have to come to play tonight. And they're going to have to bring their best game here, and they're going to have to really, shut down Baylor. Because Baylor knows at times that their offense doesn't flow, but they sometimes they get that defense and it kickstarts the fast breaks, and that gets them started here. It gets them re-energized if they're in a hole, a slump, or they, so. And with Arkansas, they do shoot, they rebound a lot, and the Razorbacks can have enough to take them down. Because you have Butler, Teague, and Mitchell. I like to call instead of Goldilocks and the three bears, you got the three big Baylor Bears here, and Butler and Teague and Mitchell, and these guys have worked together on the off season, and it is showing here in the tournament that these guys believe in each other. They feed off each other's energy, and so that's what's gonna happen. Obviously, the Arkansas game here is at 9:57 p.m. here, so that is Eastern Standard Time. So obviously, for me, it will be almost 7 o'clock at night. For those in the East Coast, it's gonna only be 10 o'clock at night when you're watching this. So. And like I said, I'll recap here. I'm taking the Oregon State Beavers. Beaver down the Cougar. And the money line here. The plus 265 or 285 like Arkansas here. And I'm taking the Hogs out here. And backs out there. So, and like I said, my predictions have some have been right, some have been wrong, So I'm taking the dogs tonight. The dogs are barking for me tonight in the NCAA tournament here. Now let's go, and we're gonna switch some gears here. We're gonna go to the CBS Sports Desk here, and then we're gonna go into some NBA right now. We're gonna go to some NBA before we segue into the NFL news, and obviously we got to get into Major League Baseball coming up on Thursday, starting on April Fool's Day. No, it is not a fool's, and no, it is not a trick. They will be starting opening day on Thursday, April 1st. But let's get into the NBA slate here, where, last night the big signing news here is Andre Drummond has been signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's cleared waivers now. He's cleared things to do. So now he's joined the Lakers now. I mean, will he be playing? He would definitely be playing sometime soon. Hopefully, we'll see Andre Drummond to see how well he does. You have LaMarcus Aldridge. He signed with the Nets, along with Blake Griffin, along with Kevin Durant, along with Kyrie Irving, along with James Harden, with their coach Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni. Now, in other news, Indiana hired Knicks assistant Mike Woodson now. He is now the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. Gordon Jang, who was cut by the Timberwolves, has now signed with the San Antonio Spurs. And Knicks have some bad news as Mitchell Robinson, he has come back from an injury. He's now suffered another setback with an injury when they played against the Bucks. He has suffered a fractured foot. And Lakers big man Anthony Eyebrow Davis is progressing, but they have yet to determine a return time for him at this time. All right, so we have 11 games on the slate today, guys. 11. We have 11 games on the slate. Let's start with the first game here. We have the Indiana Pacers on the road taking on the Washington Wizards. So the Pacers are seeking their first 3-game winning streak of the season here. And they're trying to do it against a Washington Wizards team that now has some new pieces to it, a la Daniel Gafford. Okay, well, they haven't put those guys in this lineup here. But needless to say, we'll just kind of skim through the NBA a little bit here. As the Indiana Pacers score 113 points as a team, the Washington Wizards actually score 114 as a team. So evenly matched. The Wizards obviously have the advantage in the rebounding department with 43 as a team compared to the Pacers 41. But the Pacers have a couple more assists by 26 and a half assists as a team compared to 24 and basically 25 assists per game. So, if you're looking at the stats, you think both these teams are fairly easy. But if you look at the records, the Indiana Pacers are 21 and 23, and the Washington Wizards are 16 and 28. You wouldn't think so with Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. And you got Rui Hamachi Mamura. And then, getting rid of some guys that they needed to get rid of. So, this game tonight, you know what? This game tonight, I'll take the dog in this one here. I'm going to take the Wizards in this fight. Even though I know they're the lesser, Pacers are the hot team and then whatever. I'm going to take the Wizards at home. I think they're going to play better tonight. They have +5 as well. The over-under is 233.5. But I feel the Wizards are going to get a win tonight. I feel they're going to get a big dub here. They're going to get a big dub against a good team here. Indiana's trying to fight for their playoff lives here because as of the March 18th, the playing games will be playing. So basically, 7 versus 8 will play and 9 versus 10 will play. Whoever wins out of 7 and 8 will automatically get the 7th seed. That loser will then move on and have to play the winner of the 9 and 10 game. And so whoever wins out of the 9 and 10 game that 9 team has to beat that 8 team twice in order to get that 8 seed. Or else the 8 seed all has to do is win one game. That's just to give you guys a little update on what the NBA playoffs are going to be looking like from the East and the West here. So if you go at the brackets now and look at the 7 to 11 teams here. You can even have the 11th team in there until So 7 through 11, you got to look at what kind of teams you're going to be dealing with and who can maybe slip in and who could be a dark horse and a sleeper maybe. All right, so we go to the next game here. We have the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Boston Celtics here. I mean, obviously the Celtics are 23 and 23 at home. They're coming off, they had a big victory, but the Pelicans are playing very, very well right now. Zion Williams is a big part of that. He is, playing lights out like the top pick should be playing like, he's put 39 points on the Denver Nuggets on Jokic and them, and then he put 34 on the Luka Doncic list and Kristaps Porzingis list Mavericks. That being said, here goes again. Zion Williams has a great matchup. You know, obviously they got Robert Williams and some of their other players here, and hopefully tonight we will see the debut of Evan Fournier. But, that being said, I think Zion and them play well tonight, but I think the Celtics will get this victory here. So I'm taking the Celtics on the money line, and, 2.5 is very generous and very, very caring. And the over under is 229 points and a half, and a hook, as they would say it in the betting industry. So, like I said, I'll recap. The first pick I took, the Wizards money line. Taking the dog, Wizard dog. And then I'm taking the Boston Celtics, which they are the favorite. So I'm taking the favorite in this one, not taking the dog and Zion. And the next game we have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Brooklyn Nets here. They'll be playing at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The Nets are 31-15. The Minnesota Timberwolves are 11-35. So the tale of two teams here, where basically, I don't know. Maybe hopefully Kyrie Irving would be back. He's had some personal family matters to deal with. Kevin Durant, hopefully he'll be back sometime here soon, dealing with his hamstring. James Harden came back and he looked fantastic. He looked old James Harden fashion. And so we'll see Blake Griffin as well in this matchup, and eventually we'll see LaMarcus Aldridge in a Nets uniform. That being said, here, the Timberwolves, do they stand a chance here? They're plus 500 in the money line tonight against the Nets, and I'm going to tell you, no, they don't. They might put up a fight here, but I believe Brooklyn's gonna take it to them here. I just think Brooklyn's the better basketball team. First and foremost, despite not having Kevin Durant or even Kyrie Irving, and just having James Harden and Blake Griffin. I like Joe Harris, Caribou Lou, I like to call him. And then they just, the Nets are playing good basketball right now. And you're not saying that the Timberwolves aren't playing good basketball. And Karl Towns right now, he's playing very good basketball, but the Timberwolves are basically a team right now just trying to find themselves, trying to find out what are they going to do moving forward here, Obviously no playoffs this season, but as a team, how are we going to grow and get better to become a playoff team is the question for the Timberwolves going down the line. So I'm taking the Brooklyn Nets tonight. They're minus 700 on the money line. So, I won't take the money line here. I'll take the 11 points because I think they can definitely cover the 11 points tonight. Would not be taking the over 239 and a hook. All right. We got Miami Heat versus the New York Knicks. Definitely a good game here in the early slate. 7:30 start Eastern time, 4:30 in the West. We have the Miami Heat coming in at 22-24 here, struggling a little bit with Victor Oladipo and company. Jimmy Buckets and all them, and Dragic's coming in to visit the New York Knicks here. They've been playing really good basketball as of late. They're 24-22, basically the opposite here. So obviously, the Heat scores 106.5. The Knicks, on the other hand, score 105 points per game. So that's the Knicks rebound at 46 total rebounds as a team compared to the Miami Heat's 42. The Miami Heat pass the ball and assist the ball a little bit more better than the Knicks at 25.9, more like 26 to 21%. But I believe it's going to be a great game. I believe it's going to be a tough game here, and the Knicks are going to be Knicks have been in this one here. The Knicks are going to be hurting without Mitchell Robinson, and I think that, that bodes well for Bam Adebayo, and but Bam Adebayo, he's supposed to have a good matchup against the Hornets, and didn't really have that solid game. So, and you got Nerlens Noel and you got Taj Gibson that are going to step up in there and body him up a little bit here. So we'll definitely see that. But Jimmy buckets, they got Tyler Hero, they got Bam Adebayo, they got Dragic, they got Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Trevor Ariza, obviously Iguodala, and now they have Victor Oladipo. So obviously the Heat are loaded here, and the Heat definitely need to start turning up the heat here in order to try to make a push for the playoffs here. And so tonight I'm going to take the home dogs with the New York Knicks playing at MSG here. I'm going to take the Knicks here on the money line, plus 165 on the money line. The Knicks are plus 4 as well here. And I think the Knicks can cover that here as long as they. And let's see the over-under total points, 204 and a hook. All right, next game we have the Toronto Raptors taking on the Detroit Pistons. All right, Pistons aiming for a season sweep of the Raptors here. And the Toronto Raptors look to rebound after last night's loss at home to the Portland Trailblazers. The Raptors are 18-28. They're minus 150 on the money line tonight. Obviously, the underdogs and the home dogs are the Detroit Pistons at 130, plus 130, and plus 3 on their favorite. Well, they're plus 3, so they can't lose more than 3. And I'll definitely be taking the Detroit Pistons in this game tonight at home. And surely I'll tell you why. The money line here, I'll take that plus 130 on the money line. The over-under both 214. I don't know about that. The Toronto Raptors obviously score more points than the Detroit Pistons here at 112 points per game compared to 107 points per game. The Pistons basically out-rebound the Raptors 43-41 as a team. And basically the Raptors basically barely by one out-assist the Pistons. I'm picking the Pistons at home. They play tough at home. They usually play really good basketball at home. They're getting some of the players they got from the trade here, along with the Raptors as well. Raptors have a good team here. They still got Kyle Lowry. He did not get traded. But what really bothers me about the Raptors right now is you have a situation developing here where it's happened twice in games where there's been a heated exchange between Nick Nurse and Pascal Siakam. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen the games, watched the games, even care about it. That to me, when a player and a coach is having a disagreement and they're having, and it's more than one time that it flares up, I mean, there's got to be a problem there. Now, is the problem Nick Nurse or is the problem Pascal Siakam? I'm in the ilk that both these guys, they want to win, and it's not been a great season for Toronto. 18-28. Siakam probably liked Norm Powell. Didn't like that Norm Powell was getting traded. Maybe didn't like that Lowry didn't get traded. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he felt he was going to get traded. I can't tell you why they have this beef here, obviously. But going forward, it doesn't bode very well here. I mean, obviously, all the team is going to shut that out here. But I mean, if I'm your buddy, we shouldn't be sitting here yelling at our coach and getting angry because that's defeating the purpose. It's taking ourselves out of the game, in essence, and taking him out of the game and the coach out of the game, and And we all know sports is a game of emotions. Emotions ride high just like anything else. Just like politics, just like, race, religion, all that other stuff that comes along with the world. Emotions ride high, and some people you know, some people ain't gonna back down in this day and age. People are tired of backing down, and people are tired of being cowards and not being hurt anymore. With that being said, I'm taking the Detroit Pistons because I feel they're the better basketball team togetherness here, even though they're probably not the better team with, players. Obviously, the Raptors should smoke the Pistons tonight here in Detroit. But I believe Pistons play the Detroit basketball that they want to, and they're going to buy into this game and win this game tonight here, even though they are 12-33 and the Raptors are 18-28. So I'm taking the home dogs and the Wizards and the home dogs of the Pistons, along with the home dog Knicks. So I've gone 3 dogs. I've gone 2 favorites with the Brooklyn and the Celtics, and went dog pick, underdog pick with the Wizards, underdog pick with the Knicks at home, and underdog pick with the Pistons. The next game here we got the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Houston Rockets. Now, the Grizzlies are 21-22. The Rockets are 13-32. Obviously, the Grizzlies are minus 345 on the money line, and the Rockets are plus 285. So obviously the Rockets are the underdog in this game. They're getting plus 8 points tonight. The over-under is 226 and a hook. Well, the Rockets coming into this game, they're getting better. I think they're playing better, getting healthier. Christian Woods is definitely a game time decision tonight, so that'll be definitely an effect because, Vucevic will eat all day. And the Rockets, they are a very young team now, and they're, rebuilding team. They have John Wall. They have Eric Gordon, obviously, there still. And they have, Ben McLemore in there and DJ Augustine and DJ Wilson, guys that are. But you got the young Bucks and Kevin Porter Jr., Jason Tate, Nwamba Brown, KJ Martin Jr., Justin Patton. And so, but I believe the Grizzlies have been playing well basketball as of late, and I think they're going to win this game tonight, even though I would like to take the home dog Rockets to win this game tonight here. I'm buying the Memphis Grizzlies. So I'm taking the Grizzlies, obviously the money line, and over under 226 and a hook. Now, can both these teams get up to 100? I believe they can. But I just kind of believe this game's going to be, maybe 100 to 80 something or 90 something. I think it hovers around that. So that's why I'm picking the Memphis Grizzlies in this matchup. Next game, we have the Dallas Mavericks going into Oklahoma City Thunder. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis both basically been dealing with back soreness. That's what Luka Doncic has been dealing with. So they'll be playing tonight up against the young Thunder here that have been playing fairly well, but they're going to have to be playing it without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and also without Al Horford. They're obviously a young team, and they're plus 500 on the money line tonight here. They're plus 500 on the money line. And do I dare take the young Thunder here? Do I dare take the young Thunder to take down the Dallas Mavericks? I'm gonna say the Mavericks win this game, and I think Luka's gonna take over this game. And as much as I'd like to take that plus 500 and put a little bit of money down in Vegas tonight on that, and they're plus 11 here, and the over under is 221. And so I think this game could have scoring in it. I mean, the Thunder did play pretty decent over the weekend. So I'm the Thunder score 106 106 points a game. The Mavericks on the other hand score about 112. So the Thunder average about 45 rebounds as a team compared to the Dallas Mavericks 43. The both teams average about 23 assists as a team, so they're both but I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks tonight here. So I'm taking a favorite there. Next game we have the Sacramento Kings playing the San Antonio Spurs. All right. The Kings are looking to win their fifth straight game in a row and look to use that momentum as maybe trying to ride it into the playoffs here. But they're taking on the Spurs, who have played very good basketball as of late. They've gotten rid of Aldridge, but I mean they already knew that. So they're playing past that, and they're going to get Goran Dang here shortly. So, but the Kings have been playing really red hot basketball with De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Shard Holmes, uh, Tyrese Halliburton here. Yeah, you got Harrison Barnes chipping in the points here. They got Hassan Whiteside. Got Kyle Guy here. So I expect this to be a really good game. I expect this to be a really close game here. Obviously, let's go. The money line is plus 120 on the Kings, minus 140 on the Spurs. The Spurs are obviously getting minus 2.5, which is a good generous bet there. And the over under is 229 and a hook, so 230. Which the Kings score 115 a game, and the Spurs score about 109 a game. Now the Spurs out rebound the Kings 44 to 43, but the Kings out assist the Spurs 26 to 24 as a team. So I'm gonna go with the Kings tonight. I said the Kings get it, but I think it's gonna be a close game. And I think if you do bet on the Spurs to take the points tonight. But I'm taking the Kings on the money line plus 120. Then we have the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Utah Jazz. The Jazz looking for their 20th straight home victory, and the Jazz are 34 and 11, while the Cleveland Cavaliers are 17 and 29. So obviously, the Cavs are plus 1,100 tonight here on the money line. The Utah Jazz are obviously minus 16, and the over/under points is 219 and a hook, so 220. Man, do you go straight dog with Cleveland tonight here? Does Cleveland even have a chance tonight here? And the Jazz almost lost to the Grizzlies on Friday night. And yeah, so then the night before, the Jazz helped, Conley helped them win the Friday night with that win, and then the Jazz basically smoked them the next night here. So I'm taking the Jazz here. I mean, but if you're feeling froggy tonight, the biggest money maker you can make is betting the Cavs to beat the Jazz. But that obviously the Jazz are playing really, really, really tough basketball right now. So I mean, me myself, I'm not gonna be that guy unless really, really decide to just put a crazy bet down on that. The last two games we have, the Bulls and Warriors vow to end losing streaks in a rematch here. And Vucevic here, and Vucevic has been He's been the man on the mission here for the Bulls and the Warriors here. Now, obviously, Warriors are +1 here tonight. Both teams are -110 on the money line here. Over under 228 here. Golden State is +1, so the Warriors got to lose by 1 here. So I mean that. And we'll see if Curry if Curry does play tonight here. Obviously the Bulls, we have Markland, he's kind of banged up coming in. We have Zach's banged up. Colby White hasn't been playing very well. He's been benched. We're 19 and 25. We got Vucevic now. We have Thaddeus Young. We got Patrick Starfish Williams. We got Satoransky still. We have Denzel Valentine here. We got Archie Cadona. And some other guys here. Obviously, this is going to be a pretty close game here. I mean, I think this game can go either way here. I could see us getting beat here, but with Vucevic, I think Vucevic has dominated the Warriors this season, so I feel that trend to continue here a little bit in this game here. But I don't know, we looked better in the fourth quarter here against the Spurs because we were getting our asses kicked by 30. The Bulls haven't been playing their best basketball. I mean, neither has the Warriors either, but the Warriors, they keep fighting, and they're 22 and 24, and they have a good chance to playoff spot. We had a good chance here, but unless we start getting on a real good winning streak, I don't foresee us here. So I'm gonna go with my Bulls tonight, even though I know maybe that doesn't work here, but I'm gonna take the Bulls. And I'm gonna take the over under 228 points. Well, Bulls, we score 113, and the Warriors score 113. That right there, they both scored 100. One of them scored 100, and the other 110. Well, one scored 120, and the other scored 110. But I don't know. We out rebound them, but they out assist us. So, but I'm taking my team here. And the last game on the docket here that we have is the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis Antetokounmpo here will return, and we'll be playing here tonight to take on the Los Angeles Clippers here. The Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. They made some trades. They got rid of Lou Will, Rondo. I see Rondo to play tonight here. Trey Mann's been playing well here. Reggie Jackson's been playing really well. Serge Ibaka's out with a back injury. You still got one of the Morris brothers. Milwaukee Bucks are 29 and 16 here. And the Clippers are 31 and 16. The Bucks are plus 120 on the money line tonight. Clippers are minus 2.5. The over-under is 231 and a hook. So definitely a big game on the slate. The biggest game here, a playoff. Could this be a preview of the NBA Finals, of a Bucks Clippers Finals here? Not saying that it will happen, but so we'll definitely be seeing Giannis returning from his injury here, as he's been dealing with a nagging left knee injury. I on the hand here will ride with the Bucks here. I'll take the Bucks here. I'll go Bulls. I'll go dog here, even though the Clippers are favored. The Clippers are playing really good basketball right now. I think Giannis coming back here tonight kind of motivates the Bucks here a little bit here, and I like to see Giannis and his brother on the court at the same time. That would kind of be a nice little, it's like when me and my brother used to play pickup games, together, and we just run together, and you just kind of know, you just kind of know where your brother's at. You kind of know each other's games. You know how to play with each other and then with everybody else kind of feeds off that, So we'll see. And so let's recap. Recap. I'm taking the Bucks on the money line plus 120. I'm taking the Bulls on the money line minus the points. Obviously, the Warriors are plus one tonight. I'm taking the Jazz at home to continue their winning ways over the Cavs, even though the money line is plus 1,100 on the Cavaliers tonight. I'm taking the Kings on the money line. They're obviously not the favorite here. So I'm taking the Road Dog Kings, Road Dog Bucks. I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks. I'm taking the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm taking the home dog Detroit Pistons, the home dog New York Knicks. I'm taking the favorite Brooklyn Nets, taking the favorite Celtics, and I'm taking the home dog Washington Wizards. So that's for the NBA here. And let's go to NFL here. Let's get some NFL news here. News and notes that everybody needs to. So, ex-Patriots, ex-Pats player teammates didn't trust. Ex-Pat player says Jimmy Garoppolo didn't earn teammates' trust in New England. So does that bode well for him to go there? Alvin Kamara is not happy with the expected decision to expand schedule to 17 games for regular season here. I mean, I hear it all the time. These guys cry about not getting money and not getting to play these games, and because but they cry because they're playing an extra game. This is extra wear and tear on your body. When I was in the military, we didn't sit there and say, well, you know what? You're putting us through too much war. You're putting us through too much war, our federal government, the army. We don't want to, we don't. I don't get why these players don't want to play an extra game, but they cry and bitch and moan when they don't get paid money. But then they get, then they end up doing dumb shit. And Deshaun Watson is now facing 19 sexual conduct lawsuits now, minus one that they discarded. But so it's not boding well for Mr. Deshaun Watson. Wants to be traded and wants to go to a new team. I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes. But, we live in a day and age where people want to stand on their merits and want to stand on something, but do they really stand for that? They don't stand for it. These guys say they stand for their this and that. They don't. People gave Colin Kaepernick all this shit in the world, but he was willing to lose his job in the National Football League and never to be able to play another fucking down in the NFL. To do what he's doing now, more than, and all of a sudden now you got the wake-up call to all these athletes now that want to step up and do what's right for their community. Well, I ask those people, the same people that are in those communities that pitch drugs and allow violence to continue in their communities and not do a fucking damn thing about it, but sit here up in their pulpits and act like they're holier than thou, and it's because of someone else's, color of their skin, reason why we don't understand your suffering. Well, when your people are allowing you to continue to be suffered upon, that's why you continue to live the cycle as a victim, as slaves, as this and that. And it goes for whites, it goes for all races. You play the game, therefore you get what you get. Don't sit here and act like you're somebody that's better and you're going to stand up. If you're not willing to stand up and sacrifice, then I don't want to hear a goddamn word. All it is lip service and bullshit. And the rest of us should turn it off too. And I hate that I get this way and people want to, I want to tell me that I'm some type of racist when other people will hide behind whatever to fucking not tell you how they truly feel. And I'll tell you that. I stand for my brothers and sisters of melatonin skin, but I don't stand for them to be used as victims and to be continue to be used as victims.
Hey,
What?
I'm ordering Applebee's for lunch, so.
All right. I'm doing my podcast.
Okay.
So, with that being said, I don't like to get into all politics and racist things and everything when we don't even know the truth from the lies anymore. We can sit here and act like we do, but we don't. I'm not somebody up here toot my own horn and put whatever. Hey, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But I'm not somebody up here telling me that somebody's infringing on my freedoms to do what I can well be doing. And am I going to meet resistance in this life? Yes, you're going to meet resistance everywhere. But some people just don't feel like they have to be, they're going to get an easy path in life. I'm sorry to burst all these people's, you know, it's not going to happen. All right. With that being said, let's get into this. Let's get into the mock draft that they've been toting about here. So at number 1, they still have Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, they have the Jets.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
Shut the fuck up, you sorry ass fucking commercials. I wish there was some way to delete all that shit. Zach Wilson getting picked number 2 by the Jets. Mac Jones going to the. Now here's where I disagree with the 49ers. If this is what you think your quarterback, this is the guy that you believe is going to take you to the promised land. Why did you move up to number 3 to get this man? And you still have Jimmy Garoppolo. Unless you plan on trading Jimmy Garoppolo to the Atlanta Falcons or someone else, I do not like and I will not understand why you're picking Mac Jones. Oh, because he looks like Kirk Cousins? All right. I like the pick for the Falcons getting an offensive lineman as well as the Bengals getting an offensive lineman. The Dolphins getting a wide receiver. That I can see that definitely. The Lions getting a wide receiver, definitely with Galladay and Marvin Jones gone. They need to bring in somebody good. The Panthers getting Justin Fields. Okay. Michael Parsons go. Oh man, that would really solidate that Denver defense here. To help out. Because Von Miller's not getting any younger, folks. Dallas Cowboys getting Patrick Surtain II. Elijah Tucker here. The Giants getting offensive lineman. The Eagles going up and the Eagles getting a tight end here. Obviously, they're going to move on from Zach Ertz or, the other tight end that's there. They say that the Los Angeles Chargers will get Devontae Smith. I mean, that'll go both well with the Minnesota Vikings. Will get a defensive lineman from Michigan. Pay. The Patriots should draft Trey Lance. I mean, what? J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina, that they think Arizona will draft. They think the Raiders will draft an edge rusher, Penn State. The Dolphins will draft an offensive lineman from Virginia Tech. Their football team will draft an offensive lineman. The Bears will draft a defensive back. The Colts will draft an offensive lineman. Tennessee Titans will draft a linebacker. Asante Samuel's son is going to get drafted by the Jets, which that would be a really good spot for him. Caleb Farley, cornerback from Virginia Tech, to do the Steelers. Strong safety, Trevon Moehrig. Jalen Phillips, defensive end, going to Cleveland. That just depends if Cleveland gets, Gregory Rosu. I think the Vikings will get that guy here. Rosu that they said the Ravens will get here. The Saints, they have the Saints getting linebacker from Tulsa here. You have the Packers getting Kadarius Toney. They have Carlos Basham Jr. from Wake Forest going to the Bills. They got defensive lineman Christian Barrymore, and they got offensive lineman Jalen. Second round, I think the Jaguars go Travis. That they'll basically draft Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. That's if somebody else doesn't draft him. The Jets will draft Najee Harris. The Falcons. Falcons get edge rusher from Washington State, Joe Tyron. Javonte Williams here. Dolphins will get him. Eagles get Bolton here. Bengals will get Rondale Moore. That'd be good. That would be a good pick for them here. Watch a football team getting Terrence Marshall. I mean, that'd be good. Good fit for him. Steelers getting offensive lineman from. Yeah. Rams getting Dickerson here, and Seahawks getting another offensive lineman from. Yeah. Washington football team getting Kelly Mound. Patriots they had to forfeit their pick here. Richie Grant. Well, I don't think we'll get Richie Grant because we brought in Xavier Woods. So that,
Do you get the riblet platter or the plate?
I get the riblet platter. I think I get the platter. I want the fries. Or no, it's the plate one. It looks like the plate one, maybe.
Like, this is
Yeah.
a smaller portion.
Right, yeah.
Famous slow cook.
Yeah, that must be the one I got. No, I'm just looking at the.
Barbecue, right?
I'm looking at the draft. Yeah, the honey barbecue wings. Yeah, dude. They say the fucking Niners are gonna get fucking Mac Jones, dude. Dude, the Niners jump up to number 3 and get him, dude. The Niners, dude. You can mark my words. Niners are gonna be buns with that man. You still got fucking. They still got oh boy, what's his name? Jimmy Garoppolo. And then supposedly the ex-Patriots players said they don't want him. He never earned the respect like Brady did.
Yeah, where's Russell gonna go? New Orleans needs a quarterback.
Well, they need a fucking cornerback because Marshawn Lattimore is going to jail with a fucking stolen loaded gun. I'm trying to see. All right. The Saints getting Kyle Trask. Now that wouldn't be bad. Like if they drafted somebody like Kyle Trask or something, you know. All right. So that looks, somewhat promising, but I just think the Niners, I don't know why you would go all the way to number 3 to pick Mac Jones, where you could pick him. Basically, you could pick him. I just feel you could maximize your things in another. But needless to say, I don't want to continue rambling on here. Let's go to baseball here. We've got some spring training baseball going on right now. The bottom of the 7th here, we have the Minnesota Twins leading the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3. We have the bottom of the 8th here. Houston Astros tied with the Nationals 2-2. We have the top of the 7th where the Toronto Blue Jays lead the Philadelphia Phillies 10-7. And in the bottom of the 8th here, we have the Detroit Tigers leading 5-1 over the New York Yankees. We have the Cleveland Indians getting shut out against the Kansas City Royals 2-0 in the top of the third. You have in the bottom of the second, the San Francisco Giants up 1-0 on the Oakland Athletics. We have the Seattle Mariners beating the Cincinnati Reds in the bottom of the second, 3-0. We have the Chicago Cubs leading 2-0 in the bottom of the second over the Arizona Diamondbacks. We have the Rockies and the Padres tied at 1 run apiece in the top of the second. We have finals. The New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals tied at 3 today. The Boston Red Sox blanked the Atlanta Braves 4-0 in final in 7 innings. The Tampa Bay Rays beat the Baltimore Orioles 8-3 in 7 innings. We have the Milwaukee Brewers playing the Texas Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels playing the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight. Like I said, we have basically a couple days till all right. Former number 1 Major League MLB draft pick Mark Appel attempting comeback with the Phillies here. All right. So what is he? Pitcher. Right-hander Mark Appel. No, I don't want that shit. All right, so he basically so he's gonna be in the minor leagues here. This man, he stepped away from baseball to pursue a business career in 2018. Mark Appel here, so we'll see. He looks like a pitcher here. Stepped away from baseball 3 years ago, so we'll see. We'll see how well he does. Obviously, the season starts there, and then we'll get into what do we got? NHL today. Let's see what's going on in the NHL here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games in the NHL here. So let's start off with the first one here. We got the Philadelphia Flyers here taking on the Buffalo Sabres here, seeking to snap 17-game skid. The Sabres are. Obviously, the Sabres are plus 165 tonight. The over-under total scores of goals between both teams is definitely 6. Flyers are definitely the team to bet on here tonight if you're going to go betting here. But I would take the Buffalo Sabres. I'm going to take the Sabres. I took them last time and they didn't win. But I'm going to ride the Buffaloes. The Buffalo Dogs tonight. Let the Dogs Buffalo it out tonight on the ice in Buffalo. Come on. Then we have the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins here. Bound to win the Eastern Division here. Well, they won 6-3 over the weekend here. The Penguins did it over the Islanders here. So there's really no winnings here on the money line for any of these teams here. So 5.5 goals. I'm gonna say they go over the goals tonight here. I'm gonna take the over 5.5 goals here, even though it might go under. They both went 6-3 over the weekend here. That was 9 goals. So I mean, but I could see the game going over at least 6 goals here. Somebody getting 4 and somebody getting 2, or somebody getting 1 and somebody getting 5. I mean, I don't know. Or it could go be an under here. Especially between these teams here. These teams screeched just because the other game was +6 over. And most of these games, well, you had the Avalanche and the Anaheim's 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. So basically the trend tonight is 5.5. I mean, the only games the next game would be Edmonton Oilers and Toronto Maple Leafs 6.5. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the trend here. I'm gonna say we go we go. Well, we said we were gonna go over, right? We said we thought it was gonna go over the goals amount tonight here, and we're gonna stick with that. We're gonna stick with the over here. We're taking Buffalo on the money line. We're taking the over in the we're taking the over in the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins game here. How about the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs here? Obviously, the Edmonton Oilers are 21 and 13 and 1. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 22, 10 and 2 here. So both teams have a good record here. Obviously, Edmonton Oilers are plus 120 on the money line, and obviously 6.5 goals. And they're playing in Toronto tonight. Both teams score about three goals. They give up about 2 goals a game. So you know what? I am gonna take the Edmonton Oilers on the money line. On the money line here against Toronto, even though Toronto's probably the better team here. And we'll go with the Ducks and the Avalanche game now here. And obviously, the Avalanche are the favorite here. They're looking to continue their point streak to, But I'm gonna go with the Ducks here. I'm gonna go with the Ducks here. I'm gonna go with the Ducks tonight. Much like the Oilers, they're whatever a team that Oilers have obviously a little bit better record. But I'm gonna go Ducks here, even though the Avalanche is the more far superior team here this year by far, by any means. But I'm gonna take the Ducks here. So we got home dog. We got the over in the Islanders Pittsburgh game. We got the road dogs in Edmonton Oilers, and we got the road dogs here with the Mighty Ducks. We got the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Calgary Flames here. Obviously, there's no needing a winning streak. Flames host. So there are only 2 points here. So Calgary needs a win tonight here. Let's say Calgary. We're gonna take Calgary here. We're gonna take the Calgary Flames tonight here because they need to win, and because we're betting no underdoggies here. We're gonna take the money line here, even though we probably won't make that much. And then we got the Los Angeles Kings and Las Vegas Knights here. Obviously, the Knights are the favorite team here. The Kings are the more. And so basically, the Knights are plus. The Knights are minus 220 here. They've been on a losing streak here. They have been losing here as of recently here. And the Kings did it to them. The Kings did it to them before here. So I'm saying I'm gonna go with the Vegas Knights here. I'm gonna go with the home dogs. They get back on track here against the Kings tonight. And then last but not least, we have the Minnesota Wild visiting the San Jose Sharky. Wild visit San Jose looking for a 4th straight win here. Monday and Wednesday, followed by a pair in Las Vegas. So yeah, the Wild, So this is interesting here. You know, you got the Sharks plus 140 here on the money line here. They're playing the Wild. The Wild is obviously a better team here, but I like the Sharks at home tonight. So I'm gonna take the home Shark dogs here. So we got the home Shark dogs here. We're taking Las Vegas. We're taking Calgary. We're taking the road dog Anaheim Mighty Ducks. We're taking the Edmonton Oilers here. They're the road dogs. We are taking the over in the Islanders and Penguins game, and we're taking the home dogs in the Buffalo Sabres. So that's basically your sports rundown here for the day here. And I ran down the sports. I ran down some picks that I was expected to that I would make here if I had the chance to put my money on the line here tonight. Try to make a little bit of money or so here. So with that being said, you know, we've had a good podcast today so far. You know, it's gone over an hour and 11 minutes here. You know, so you know, I think we've done very well here. So you know, I think you know an hour and has bowed us pretty well here. So I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna go do some things here for the rest of the day. But for all you guys here, I hope that you know your bets win. If your bets don't win, and shouts out for all the people that watch, like Owen York, man, and A Man Complete, and all those people that check out my podcast. And you know, like I said, I just try to be as cordial and as good a person as I can be, and try to give you my best opinion. And as surely as I'm gonna come with it. But until then, guys, have a nice day. Have a blessed day.